So for question 1, we're to find angle A here. We're to find angle A. And we know all three sides of our obtuse triangle that is formed when we measure off a piece of this land here. So when we know all of the sides and no angles, that is a side problem, and we have to use law of cosines to solve the problem. So let's review what law of cosines is. It's c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab times the cosine of angle C. And angle C, this is the angle opposite of side C. That's very important. We cannot mix this up. This angle here must be opposite of this side. So let's fill in our information that we have. I'm going to label C as 72 because we're trying to find the angle opposite of that side. So 72 squared equals 87 squared plus 31 squared minus 2 times 87 times 31 times the cosine of C. This is a mystery. Let me make this a little bit smaller before we move on, and then I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay. So if we want to solve for C, then we need to get C by itself. So the first part of that is subtracting this portion from both sides. So we'll do minus 87 squared plus 31 squared. We'll minus that whole thing and end up with 72 squared minus 87 squared, and then that plus changes to a minus 31 squared equals negative 2 or minus 2 times 87 times 31 times the cosine of C. And then to get C by itself even further, we need to divide by this portion. So we'll divide by, and then let's just divide by negative 2 times 87 times 31. Let me scroll up here. So we have 72 squared minus 87 squared minus 31 squared, all divided by negative 2 times 87 times 31 equals cosine of C. And we just have one more thing that we need to do to get C completely by itself. We need to take the inverse cosine of both sides. So inverse cosine, and then let me scoot over a little bit here. Inverse cosine of this whole thing, and we end up with the inverse cosine of 72 squared minus 87 squared minus 31 squared, all divided by negative 2 times 87 times 31, all that equals angle C. So at this point, I'm going to get my calculator out and figure out what this is. So first up is 72 squared. That's 5,184 minus 87 squared. And I already get a negative number because 87 is obviously larger than 72. Minus 31 squared. And then I'll divide by negative 2. And that changes it positive. Divided by 87. Divided by 31. And then we'll take the inverse cosine of that result. And we get 51.660575 . We're to round to the nearest degree. So that gives us 52 degrees. So our final answer is 52. That's terrible. Sorry. Let me choose 52 degrees.